morning, everyone. Today it's cold, it's rainy, it's windy. It actually feels like a storm outside, and this really reminds me of how we would prepare to go outside. We would put raincoats on. We make sure that we are warm. We consider the weather when we go outside. So it's not about just putting on a t-shirt and go out and say that, well, I'm made in the image of God, so I won't get wet and I won't get affected by the weather. Not at all. We all realize that we live in a physical world, and God gave us a physical body, and this body will react to the circumstances around us. So in the same way, our five senses will react to things, circumstances, physical connection points. In that same way, our physical body would react. Our eyes, our ears, our touch, our smell, our senses, all our senses, our mouth. That's the five senses. And if we look at our eyes, it is to be protected against the storm of evil that enters our eyes. The same with our ears. It is to protect ourselves, to guard our ears and our eyes. And our mouth is actually what we take in. Yes, it's no coincidence that in Leviticus there's a whole group of clean and unclean foods, which is very symbolic of things that we need to understand, that there's certain things that we are not allowed to take in, to partake in, conversations, and we're not allowed to put in our physical body certain foods that will obviously make us sick. And in the same sense, we need to guard our lips, our tongues, because that is the source of life. He who chooses life will choose his words wisely, because he will surely eat of the harvest. Remember, you speak words, you sow seeds with your mouth, with your tongue, but those seeds will come back to you in the form of a harvest. So then you have to eat what you have prepared before you on the table. It's like making dinner. You have to eat it. We sometimes in the physical world, if we prepare food and we don't like it, we can throw it away. But spiritually, it doesn't work like that. You will have to eat what you have prepared, and sometimes that is not such a nice season to be in. So be aware of what you say, what you eat, what you partake in, and what you hear. We are supposed to turn away and not partake. Remember, if we listen and do not stand up against evil talk or slander or whatever, we are actually participating in that conversation, and we are just as guilty as the one saying those things. So it's very important that we judge these things. We guard our hearts, our ears, our lips, our eyes. Our nose is our ability to discern between good and evil. God gave us the ability to smell. Foul smell, we don't like that. We don't want to be around that. And often, when I look at animals, poisonous plants would have a specific smell, and then they would know they shouldn't eat that. So in the same way, we have to learn to discern foul smell. What gives off smell? Smell is our attitude. Smell is the sense that we have around us. If you have a perfume on, you carry that perfume with you, and it's like a bubble around you. When you enter into that bubble, you smell it. So discernment is the same way. It's something that you carry with you, and it gives off either a sweet smelling flavor or a foul smell. And we, usually the one that smells foul, doesn't know it. They don't really identify because they're so used to it. So this is the time where we need to ask God, how do I smell? Am I sweet smelling, say, flavor, or am I a stinking, foul smell to you, as the Lord often relates in His Word. He would say it as it is. He would say, you stink. So it's important that we look at these things in depth. This is specifically in this month where we do a lot of introspection and soul searching our attitudes, our hearts, our mindsets. And if we look at our touch, again, it refers to that space around us where we need to carry that presence of God, that holiness, that glory, like a cloak around us. We need to carry the garment of righteousness, which is our first contact point, our first point of touch. Like we would have like an undergarment. That is your garment of righteousness, which is a gift. We just have to have it on. And you take it off the moment you sin. The moment you step out of God's grace, you take off your clothes. So we need to identify, am I dressed in that? Do I have the right appearance before God? Do I have what God gave me to put on? And do I have that glory bubble around me, that presence of God where people can really identify just by your presence, this is really a child of God. So it's important that we check these things. It's important that we understand we are not we live because of Jesus Christ. Yes, we have grace. We have this beautiful privilege to enter the Holy of Holies and enter the presence of our Father. But it doesn't allow us to do anything we want. It doesn't allow us to ignore the fact that we need to be dressed appropriately. We need to have reverence and respect. We need to walk in love. We need to desire to be holy, for He is holy. So that is our responsibility. That is what our part. And His part is to cleanse, to forgive, to declare us free, healed, justified, all these things through His blood. And I thank the Lord for this beautiful, beautiful privilege to be His child, to be able to take this month out and to see and to understand and to know that He is God.